You think the Earth is suspended in space is because of some force holding it up. Wrong, there is no up, down, left, right in space. And nothing can fall down. The word fall down is a lie that the Earth has deceived you for decades. In the universe, there is no floor or ceiling. If you walk in any direction for 100 million light years, you won't hit a wall. So the question is, since there is no bottom, why doesn't the Earth fly away? Why does it have to revolve around the sun? The answer is scarier than you think. Because the sun is under the Earth's feet. It has dug an invisible pit. The Earth is not suspended, but is spinning wildly in this pit. It has been spinning for 4.6 billion years. This pit is called spacetime curvature, which was discovered by Einstein, and its depth directly determines the life and death of the Earth. You may ask, how could spacetime be dug out of a hole? Isn't space empty? This is where Einstein is crazier than Newton. More than 300 years ago, Newton discovered the law of universal gravitation. It is said that an apple hit his head, which made him think of a question: why apples fall down instead of flying up? Instead of flying up? His answer was that the Earth had gravity, which pulls the apple down. However, Newton didn't tell us what gravity is. Why can it pull things across air, vacuum, across hundreds of millions of kilometers, pull things over? This question has puzzled scientists for over 200 years. Until 1915, Einstein proposed the general theory of relativity. He said that gravity doesn't exist at all. You heard that right. The force that makes apples fall, and the force that keeps the Earth revolving around the sun, is not a force at all. It is an illusion after the distortion of spacetime. How to understand this concept? Imagine you put an iron ball on a taut sheet. What will happen to the sheet? It will be concave, right? The degree of depression depends on the weight of the iron ball. Now you put a glass bead on the sheet. The glass bead won't just stay in place. It will roll towards the iron ball along the depression. If the glass bead has a certain lateral speed, it won't roll directly in, but will circle around the iron ball. This is the relationship between the Earth and the Sun. The mass of the Sun is 330,000 times that of the Earth. It squeezes the surrounding space-time to create a huge depression. Earth is like that glass bead, slides along this depression. We call this kind of sliding revolution. So the Earth is not pulled by the Sun to rotate, but in a curved space-time, takes a straight line. But in a curved space, a straight line turns into a circle. This sounds absurd, right? But in 1919, British astronomer Arthur Eddington proved this with an annular solar eclipse observation. He found that the light from distant stars would be deflected when passing near the Sun. Light travels in a straight line. If spacetime is flat, light could not bend, but the light did bend, which means the spacetime near the Sun is curved. Einstein was right. Spacetime can indeed be curved, and the gravity we talk about is just the appearance of this curvature. So the question is, since the Earth is constantly sliding towards the Sun, why doesn't it fall into the Sun? The answer is that the Earth has a horizontal speed. Remember the glass bead on the sheet? If the glass bead has no lateral speed, it will roll directly into the depression of the iron ball. But if the glass bead has enough lateral speed, it will circle around the iron ball and never fall in. The current speed of the Earth orbiting the Sun is 29.8 kilometers per second. What does this mean? The speed of a bullet is about 1 kilometer per second. The speed of the Earth's revolution is times faster than the speed of a bullet, and it can circle the Earth. It is this speed that keeps the Earth in the time-space depression of the Sun and keeps sliding without falling. What would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped? The answer is terrifying. About 65 days later, the Earth will crash into the Sun. Before that, everything on Earth will be evaporated by the Sun's high temperature. But don't worry, this won't happen, because in space, there is nothing to stop the Earth. Space is a near-perfect vacuum environment. No air, no friction, or resistance. The speed that the Earth acquired 46 billion years ago has hardly been lost so far. It will keep spinning until the Sun dies. Speaking of this, you may ask, where did the Earth's original speed come from? This goes back to the birth of the solar system. 4.6 billion years ago, in a corner of the Milky Way, there was a huge cloud of gas and dust. We call it the primordial nebula. Under its own gravity, the nebula began to shrink and began to rotate. Why did it rotate? Because the matter in the universe originally had angular momentum. This is a physical law, which is called the conservation of angular momentum. Simply put, once it starts to rotate, it's hard to stop. Just like figure skaters, when he pulls his arms back, the rotation speed will increase. The same is true for the original nebula. When it shrinks, its rotation speed becomes faster and faster, and eventually the center of the nebula formed the Sun, and the surrounding fragments formed planets, including Earth. Earth inherited the rotation of that nebula, so it was born rotating. This is the source of the Earth's speed. It's not pushed by anyone, but it has been rotating since its birth. But speed alone is not enough. Earth has been stable for 4.6 billion years, because between the Earth and the Sun, there is a delicate balance. If the Earth's speed is too fast, it would break free from the Sun's grip, and fly into the depths of the universe, and become a wandering planet, and eventually die in the cold and darkness. If the Earth's speed is too slow, it will be engulfed by the time-space depression of the Sun, and fall into the Sun as a ball of flame. Only the speed is just right. The Earth can neither fly away nor fall. Earth can safely revolve around the Sun. How did this just right speed come about? The answer is cruel. It's selected by the universe. When the solar system was first formed, there were countless fragments and asteroids around. Those that were too fast flew away, and those too slow fell into the Sun. Only those with just the right speed survive to this day. Earth is the survivor of this cruel selection. Newton had an idea experiment more than 300 years ago, describing this principle. He imagined setting up a cannon on a very high mountain, and fired a cannon towards the horizon. If the cannonball is very slow, it will draw an arc and fall back to the ground. If the speed is a little faster, the arc will be longer. If the speed reaches 7.9 kilometers per second, the arc drawn by Earth will only move away from the Sun by 1500 kilometers, which has almost no impact on the Earth's temperature. What we really need to worry about is the lifespan of the Sun. About 5 billion years later, the Sun will enter the red giant stage. It will expand to more than 200 times its size. It will swallow Mercury and Venus. Although the Earth will not be directly swallowed, it will also be scorched into scorched Earth. By then, even if the Earth is still orbiting the Sun, it will no longer be suitable for life. Of course, that's 50 billion years later. Now we need to concern another question: why we don't feel the movement on the Earth? Think about it. Earth is flying at a speed of 30 kilometers per second, and rotates once a day. The rotation speed at the equator is 465 meters per second. Why don't we feel it at all? The reason is that we move with the Earth, and the movement is uniform. Do you remember the feeling of taking a train or plane? When the train is moving at a constant speed, you walk around in the carriage. You don't feel like you're moving at all. Only when the train accelerates or decelerates, you will feel a push or a lean. The Earth is the same. Its rotation and revolution are uniform, with almost no acceleration, so we can't feel it. Everything on Earth is also moving together, including air, water, mountains, and us. We have no static reference point, so we can't feel the movement. In general, the reason why the Earth can float in space without falling is not because of some mysterious force holding it up, but because of 3 reasons. First, there is no up and down in the universe. The concept of falling does not exist. Second, the mass of the Sun bends the surrounding spacetime. The Earth moves in this curved spacetime, so the trajectory it takes is naturally circular. Third, the Earth has enough lateral speed, allowing it to be pulled towards the Sun. It is also moving horizontally, eventually forming a stable orbit. This system has been running for 4.6 billion years, and it will continue to do so until the Sun burns out its last energy. We humans live on this high-speed flying planet. Every second, we are traveling at a speed of 30 kilometers per second across the space. Every year, we return to the same position in the universe. This is not a miracle, but just physical laws. But it is these cold physical laws that give us a warm home, that give us the opportunity to look up at the stars and think about the mysteries of the universe. Perhaps this is the most amazing place.